like almost no language or anything like that.
But like,
The people in the Splinter Cell.
okay, something. I've never played the games, but something like Mass Effect or Dragon Age to me seem like they should be teen games, right? Like just based off of like what they are, right? Yeah. But of course they're hard mature because of like
the big problem with
the relationship stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say the big problem with Mass Effect is the implication of sex more than the language.
Yeah.
And implication of sex is auto-M.
Auto-M. But yeah, it's... I feel bad when kids, like, a kid the other day was like, do you have any shooter games besides Fortnite or, I think he said, Apex Legends that are, like, teen? And I was like, no.
Yeah, it's like, you like Fortnite, kid? That's it.
Like, literally Apex and Fortnite. Like, even Halo. Halo should be, I've said this before, Halo should be a teen franchise. The Halo games should not be mature at all.
Weirdly, Uncharted 1 through 3, I'm pretty sure are all teen, despite you shooting a billion guys.
I think you're correct.
But it's because there's no blood and there's not excessive language. But dude, I don't want to go on a huge tangent about this, but games like Last of Us Part 2 make me sick to my stomach with the content and the script and the scenes that are in it. It's like they are just pushing the envelope so hard, and I think it's just... I'm not a prude or anything, it just feels so tasteless and awful. I hate modern Naughty Dog so much.
Uncharted 4 is a teen. That surprises me.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
That's probably the one that's, like, very borderline.
Yeah. But yeah. I've said it many times, but Neil Druckmann got drunk on his own power and was like, what do the fans like? I shall do the opposite. I shall subvert their expectations.
I don't even really like Last of Us 1, but like Part 2 just feels like a slap to the face in every way.
I like Last of Us Part 1. I'm not going to say that. I like Last of Us 1. I'm not going to say Part 1 because that's stupid.
Yeah, Part 1, the remake on PS5, they did retcon some stuff, so that version sucks.
Yeah. That's like saying, I like Star Wars A New Hope. I refuse to call it Star Wars Episode 4 because George had no idea when he came out with that movie. He retconned it and then later was like, Episode 4! Although, by comparison to Disney, George Lucas is an absolute Chad.
No, you don't, because I'm an adult.
Alright, so we're getting to our first battle with Sonon, and the synergy abilities that you get are insane. So a lot of these battles, I'm going to push L2, I'm going to go into the command menu, I'm going to pick Synergize Windstorm, and automatically win. Yuffie is, like, beyond Aerith tier in terms of just being broken.
Are there any hard fights?
Yeah, the final blockers are actually pretty hard.
Cool. Oh, what is this music?
Cornea Grunt Metal.
And I hear this calling. Oh, I guess over. Never mind.
And the crazy thing about Yuffie is that she isn't even a completed character because she only has 3 weapons, which means that she only gets 3 permanent abilities from them. While the 4, you know, Cloud Barrett, Eris, and Tifa in the original get 6 weapons, so they have a way bigger ability threshold. But it's because Yuffie has Sonon and the synergy abilities, and even just using synergy like regular attacks is insanely good.
I just want to point out, every time I hear music like this, I automatically, in my head, go, this is my curse! Like, that song always comes in my head. Not new metal tier, but, like, generic metal tier.
Yeah. It's like...
Okay!
It is so accessible, like, it's like metalcore.
Yeah.
But even for metalcore, it's like normie metalcore.
I'm kill switch engage.
You know what it looks like.
Oh, dude. I was thinking about the other day. Do you remember from GH World Tour, the greatest breakdown of all time? And it literally is just open fret. Like, it's as generic as humanly possible. What is that? Bullet from my Valentine, Scream, Aim, Fire. Yep. And you know the worst part about it? I like music like that, like unironically. Like it's not like my favorite, but it's something I could listen to at the store and have it be like, no one would be like, well, I never. You know what I mean? Like we're at that point in life where, I mean, I added 6 by All That Remains and The Light That Binds, and no one's been like, oh my god, is that screaming? This guy looks just like a guy from normal FF7.
He does, actually.
Yo, I'm this guy.
Thank you.
I'm the counterfeit.
Hold up.
Hey, it's the beans again.
Foreigners and their big jaws.
That's racist.
Yikes. Could you imagine if there was something like that?
They just said it. I think it's Siege.
Okay. Could you imagine if there was like a thing where like a certain like ethnicity of person could like handle it? Like there's the memes of like us white people don't like hot food,
Yeah.
which is in my case very true.
That's the immediate thing I thought of.
But like imagine if that was a thing where literally it was like try this and you were like, I don't know, you like got sick instantly.
Yeah.
You're like, bleh!
Imagine like some Spanish person being like, "Here, try this," and it's like a ghost pepper.
Oh yeah.
And then
like,
they start like vomiting, and they're just like foreigners in their weak stomachs.
I'm all for it, actually. I mean, I wouldn't try ghost pepper. Yo,
I tried a habanero raw in high school for some reason, it destroyed me.
Let me tell you something. This was probably 10 years ago. I think this was before the kids were born, but me and Ash and Ryan Miller and his wife went out to, like, Appalachian Brewing Company, I think, and me and Ryan were like, oh, let's try these habanero wings. Worst decision of my life.
Yeah.
Literally the entire rest of the meal, like, for an hour, I was, like, so in pain because of, like, eating one habanero wing.
Yeah.
I was like, never again. Never, ever again.
I had a raw... I know that all the hotness in a pepper is from the seeds, but I guess I ate a bunch of seeds, but I, like, dry heaved for, like, 30 minutes straight. It was the worst experience of my life.
When people are like, how many Scoville units is this pepper? I'm like, go away. You know the kind of person who has, like, 10 bottles of hot sauce and is like, this one has the funniest name.
You two go after Gigi.
That's,
I'll head back
by the
and tell
way,
others what happened.
Statement of the part. This is not a question. Y'all people with your hot sauces is the same as craft beer people. I look you exactly the same.
It's the same people.
You're right. I mean, I guess you're right. I have... This one's called...
It's bearded fat white guys.
This one's called... This hot sauce is called Wings of Redemption. This sauce is called It'll Kick You in the Butt. I don't know. I'm not clever enough to think it off the top of my head. But they're always like... this hot sauce is called Rats Off to You. Tom Goes to the Mayor reference, folks. Thank you. What if I start a craft beer place that all they have is craft beer and wings with specific hot sauce? Yeah, I guarantee that has to be a thing. We make our own hot sauces and craft beer.
There's definitely some sort of, like, spicy IPA.
Also, I sound like... what's his name? Dang it, who's the director? Work was too ridiculous today.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I sound like David Lynch for some reason. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name.
If you did that voice at first, I would have called it out, but you said you did something different.
Yeah. Would you like to try my David Lynch Craft IPA? It's really hot for some reason. I made Twin Peaks. Remember that? I was Gus, the bartender on Cleveland Show for no reason. I was in 40 episodes. I was literally a recurring character on the Cleveland Show because I can do what the heck I want.
Probably easiest paycheck, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like David Lynch cares about money, so it must have just been him being friends with someone on...
It has to be. Oh,
I just can't see him being like...
He's literally never been on Family Guy or American Dad, the shows that are still going. No, I'm gonna choose the Cleveland Show because that one I'm gonna put my horse onto that show. So based. I'm sure CIB Ben's told you, but you know the show Gravity Falls? So, like, the entire show was based off of Twin Peaks and, like, heavily based off David Lynch, right? And they were like, David Lynch, will you please be this character on one episode? It's just an homage to you. And he was like, no, I will not.
That's so based. He actually never told me that.
But then he's like, actually, I'll be a character on every season of Cleveland Show, but I will not be on one episode of Gravity Falls, a thing that was made specifically about me. I don't think you can get any more based than that.
And that is, I never knew that, but that just sounds like him to a T. Expecting anything otherwise, I wonder if the creators were like disappointed. But like, if I knew anything about it, I'd be like, that makes sense.
It's like my friend Brian. He works for the Carolina Panthers SB Nation website. So once a year, they have me on the podcast whenever they play like the Buccaneers or Patriots, because I'm like, hey, he's the Patriots or the Buccaneers, you know, master or whatever, and I'm like, cool. It's like if I did that every year, but then someone was like, hey, can we have you on this podcast about CIB? No! But I will join your Carolina Panthers podcast, thank you. I hope when I'm 60 or 70 that I care that little. I feel like the older I get, the more I understand old people just not caring about anything. I'm like, you know what? If you live that long, you deserve the right to just not care.
My favorite Lynch quote is in an interview. He's like, I think Eraserhead is my most spiritual film. And the interviewer's like, oh, will you explain? He's like, no.
I think it's, do you care to elaborate? No. I'm literally too nice. If someone asked me something, I would tell them the truth. But I wish I could just, like, make it up. Like, if someone was like, hey, this character in your book, is it based off blah blah blah? I should just be like, yes. Is it based off post-feminism? Yes. It is. How did you know? Corn Cripsay.
My God.
My God.
So the thing about, so there's two synergy abilities. There's Art of War, which is the DPS one, and then Windstorm, that is more of a AoE, like, stagger ability, but it's good against, like, just really weak mobs. But the thing about synergized Art of War is that it's uninterruptible. The only way that you can interrupt it is if you hit something that's immune to physical damage, which I think the only thing in the entire game is the literal final boss. So otherwise, if you get a synergized Art of War off, you'll still take damage, but they literally cannot block it. As far as I'm aware, I don't think any other character in the base game has ability like that isn't like a limit break.
I like how he calls a 16-year-old girl boss. There's something about that that's funny. I'm sure that's what they were going for.
So I played this game in Japanese when I was replaying it just like a week ago, and Sonon calls Yuffie Senpai, which makes a lot more sense than boss. It's basically just like respecting someone that's been in an organization maybe a little bit longer than you. It doesn't necessarily mean like age or anything. But
Senpai.
Saying senpai, I don't want to get super weeby about it because I think it's super cringe too. Like when people say senpai in real life, but like senpai makes a lot more sense in terms of the script than boss.
There's only one person who you could ever say senpai to, and that was CIB Ian. Remember CIB Ian? Ian Senpai.
He's still my favorite employee, even if he was like among the worst employees.
He did have good taste in gamus. What's that one?
Because like when Nate exists, it's like you're a good employee. I don't have anything to say to you about anything.
I guess you don't really like the things he likes.
I don't like the Cardinals. I don't like the MCU. I don't like...
He likes Destiny a lot.
He likes Destiny. He is the most normie of the ever normie.
That's good, because the alternative is not good.
Although my interests are so specific, I don't have anyone to talk to about anything. And then I'll do stuff like, have you seen this super obvious movie that you should have watched like 20 years ago? I'm just like, no.
No. What if you did and you just kept saying no? I think that's even more basic. Oh my god.
Oh, look at this. So I don't understand this, but if you just keep matching square, they'll just keep doing this.
I guess it works.
And the thing about it, so my materia configuration, the purple materia specifically, ATB assist is something that if you use the same materia over and over, it'll give Sonon a little bit of a boost. And because of that, Sonon like literally never runs out of ATB, because all I'm doing is using Synergized Art of War. Oh, by the way, I really like this this gimmick.
It's pretty neat.
It is way better than, you remember like Tifa's like gymnastic thing she has to do in the Shinra HQ, and it's super slow and boring. So if they're gonna do these gimmicks, I really hope it's more like this. Fast and fluid.
I just want to meet my boy Sid, that's all.
Yeah, I know Sid even in this game.
And my boy Saifu. I always forget how to actually pronounce it.
What?
Kate Sith.
Oh. I swear it's like Kasai. It's like 2 letters in, or like a letter.
Celtic.
Yeah, it's Celtic, and like there's a letter in both names that's like silent. From what I remember.
Scythe. No, that's not it. When I hear it, I'll know it, but I'll never figure it out otherwise. Oh, I can't wait to meet Vincent and find out what he was doing before Dirge of Cerberus. I mean, remember that? We played that on this channel?
Well, Dirge of Cerberus takes place like after the end of FF7.
I know. But you can find out what he was doing for that, and you can go back and watch our Dirge of Cerberus playthrough, which is like 30 parts, because that game is so long.
We also did it like 5 years ago.
Probably
but
more.
it's still worth watching.
All my best playthroughs were probably 5 years ago.
Dirge of Cerberus is a game that I think has a laughable plot and like horrible characters, but I think as a game itself, it's not bad.
Yuffie Senpai! Maybe one of these days I'll finish up the other characters in Saga Frontier. Something that's been going on for probably 5 years.
Yeah, Remaster came out like literally a year ago, and you still haven't played it.
Our group chat still says I just realized this today, Saga Frontier Remaster hype. And it came out like a year ago.
And I literally did every single... So they added Fuse to it. Not as like a 8th playable, but more of an epilogue for all the original 7 characters.
Yeah.
And I finished all of them.
I know. I'll do it one of these times. But first I gotta finish Resident Evil 4 Remake for the 5th time.
It's a little disappointing that Fuse isn't like an actual like player character.
Yeah.
But considering that he is basically an epilogue for every single character... And there's some characters like Blue in the original that literally do not have an ending.
Yeah.
It just fades to so weird screen.
Oh, I can't wait. When I do it, I am gonna do it on the original. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do all the original,
oh
then
my
I'll like...
god!
That was awesome.
What? Thank you, Doug.
Then maybe I'll have a Fuse, like do Fuse as like a bonus thing. But I gotta play it on the original. I can't be skipping over to something with quality of life improvements. Get out of here.
I don't remember there being like a whole ton. I think they fixed some script errors, and I think there's some quality of life stuff.
Isn't there speed stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Like battle speed stuff would be cool.
It's been a while. I actually kind of forget.
I'm heavily thinking, and I was actually going to message you this earlier, so YouTube can find out right now. My next game after Conquer, I'm thinking, I want to play a game. What do you think?
What, Saw?
Yeah.
We've been talking about doing Saw for literal years.
Oh, really? Have I? All right. Well,
I brought that up like probably like 4 times in the last year.
All right. So I'm gonna do Saw then.
I'd also really like. What is going on with the physics?
I was watching one of those 2-hour-long YouTube videos where it's like explaining everything in the Saw franchise, and I was like, oh baby. I was
Saw
like,
is the most convoluted piece of crap ever.
You know the funny thing is, I don't like body horror and stuff like that, but I love Saw because I love how convoluted the storylines are.
I just wish I didn't have to watch so much mutilation.
Yeah. Well, the great part is the guy who survives. This is not a spoiler because the movie's been out for 15 years, but the guy who survives Saw 1, the guy who cuts his own leg off, they wait 7 movies until Saw 7, I think they call it the final chapter, to be like, by the way, the guy who cut his leg off is the new Jigsaw, deal with it. And I'm like, bro, that is some convoluted to the max,
also,
and that's so awesome.
I kind of remember, is it true that that guy had like some sort of legal dispute with the Saw franchise?
I actually
like,
don't know.
I think he like left the movies because he was like, they had a dispute for like money or something like that, and that's why he just disappeared. But then they finally figured it out by, like...
Maybe, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they came out with a Saw movie a year, so that would have only been, like, 5 years or so. And Marky Mark's brother is in Saw 2. I mean, folks, that's a heck of a franchise. And then Spiral came out, and I liked it. It was the one with Chris Rock, and everyone's like, Chris Rock can't be in anything serious. And I'm like...
Do people take Saw seriously?
Yeah, I'm like... Horror fans, shut up. Like, this is a franchise. The lead singer of Linkin Park was in Saw 7, I think. So, like, calm down, bro. Like, your torture, you know what movies, like, they're not that deep. Deal with it. Like, enjoy them for what they are. Don't be like, you can't have a side shoot to this epic story. Shut up. Although, I've heard... There's a new Saw coming out in October. Because of course there is. It's not Spiral, it's Saw. It's like Saw 10. And I heard that the character that you play in Saw the game could be in it. Like, there's rumors about it. It's, you know Donald Glover, the guy, you know Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson, and then the other guy?
Yeah.
He's the other guy. And he's in Saw 1 somehow. Somehow they had the budget for him. And his son is the guy you play in the Saw game. And I heard that he literally might be in it. So, it might even be Kino to real life. Learning what this guy has to go through in this weird 4 out of 10 game that is probably more like a 3 out of 10 now that I think about it.
Yeah.
It's something that's super enjoyable in a weird way.
I'm also excited for you to eventually do Saw 2 because I've never seen that game ever. You never played it.
Saw 1 is like a 4 out of 10. Saw 2 is like a 1.5 out of 10.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's my perfect games, the 1.5 out of 10s.
Exactly what I was hoping you'd ask.
All I know is and this is not a spoiler, the very first thing you do in Saw the game is put your hand in a toilet that has like 1 billion syringes in it. That's the very first thing you do in the entire game. For no reason. You just like, I need a key, and like it shows you the X-ray of your hand going through, and then being like, ah! And you have to find the little like X-ray key in it.
Hey, Yuffie finally took off the clothes.
Yes! Dude, this looks awesome.
It really does look awesome. So Yuffie's design, they like changed like 0%. It's like almost exactly the same from the original. All the other designs, they really didn't change much. I think the most change that they did was Tifa's undershirt, and Barrett was probably the most changed in terms of like his haircut and sunglasses and stuff like that.
Also, canonically, Yuffie's 16, so calm down, YouTube. Although in Japan, RPGs, a 16-year-old might as well be like 60. Because what, Cloud's 21 and he's like the grizzled vet. Oh, I'm so grizzled.
He served in soldier, was in the war, and he is an old man now.
How old are you? 21. Oh, jeez. Well, because what? Sid's like 30, and he's literally like the ancient. Gigantipede. You tried. You tried to name it.
Yeah. This is a pretty cool boss, especially with how, like, ginormous it is, but it is a little out of nowhere.
Do you think the weapons will be in the games? And if so, do you think they'll be anywhere near as big as they are in...
Well, this guy's pretty big. I mean, the weapons are huge, but this is, like, one of the biggest bosses in the entire, like, remake saga.
Would you be... Alright, hypothetically, if Ruby Weapon was, like, this big-ish, would you be satisfied with that? Or would it have to be like a Shadow of the Colossus style thing?
No, I think if they did Shadow of the Colossus, that'd be too big.
Okay.
Because he's really not... I mean, he is huge. I think he should be definitely bigger than this. But it gets to a point where action games have always struggled with, like, huge bosses and being, like, fun to fight against. Because either you're fighting against them... Like, you're fighting their feet, and it just feels stupid.
Yeah. Or they're so big that they, like, move a foot and it, like, causes an earthquake or something like that. I was thinking about that. For some of the bigger bosses, like, is it Prod Cloud or is it Proud Clod? But that's a really big one.
Clod.
What's that?
It's Proud Clod.
Proud Clod. That's a really big boss, and I'm hoping that they have it be like, I don't know, 50 feet tall comparatively to the other things. But yeah, if one of the weapons was like the size of the last Colossus in Shadow of the Colossus, which is what they would like actually be, it would be too ridiculous. It would be like Shadow of the Colossus, you'd have to like climb it to do any damage.
So yeah, I have Magnified Haste, and with my purple materia setup, it's just like, and Art of War is like uninterruptible. I'm doing damage, and I did have to heal, but you can see like just how this setup like just is so good.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Remember that? Airplane? Remember that thing from the 80s?
I do remember that thing.
I understand that reference. Oh, dang.
Not too bad.
Bye, Gigantipede.
That's how ninjas do it.
Yep.
Nice work. You saved my ass.
It was nothing.
Well, it did earn you these. And 20 ID cards. They'll get
So
you
remember those 2 counterfeit cards that we got? Instantly worthless.
That's where advanced weaponry's got their lab set up. And where they
Yeah.
material research.
Because we just got official shit on our cards now.
But that means my favorite characters doesn't matter. The counterfeiter guy.
It does mean that they can go straight to Shinra HQ instead of being stopped. Because they definitely would have got stopped with those counterfeit cards.
Yo, this music is Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so generic and weird. Not that I'm saying Sonic Adventure, but it's like the same gist without the soul.
Everyone, comment below. Trevor, do the rest of Sonic Adventure 1 LP.
Yeah, I wanna.
Comment below. And tell them to do it on the Dreamcast version.
I was also probably gonna do it on
Because the
Dreamcast.
PC version is broken, I think.
Don't forget to tell the
And the GameCube is lame.
There's a Dreamcast restoration mod for the PC version, but I actually tried it. I don't know if you remember it, but like a year or two ago, I tried to start that LP. But on this computer, the videos wouldn't play for some reason. And I think it's some sort of video codec issue, but I tried to install the codec, and it just didn't work.